Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Charlie III and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Charlie's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed. And the only correction that we give is a tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Charlie's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session tomorrow. Now, he is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and it's very important to our city clients, and the command is Charlie, heel. Now, at this point, Charlie has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when walking. He should always be right by your left side, not forging ahead or lagging behind, but matching pace with you. And if you notice, when Rich turns, he turns. If Rich speeds up his pace or slows down his pace, Charlie matches pace with him. And when Rich stops walking, Charlie has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. And no matter how many times you start and stop, each time you stop, he's been taught to sit nicely and wait. So if you're out walking and you stop to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, Charlie should stop and sit immediately when you stop your feet. And he's doing a great job of demonstrating this heel and automatic sit. Now, the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a one-word command, open flat of your left palm, the one-word firm command to stay. Now, this is a self-control exercise. He started to lay down on it, and Rich told him no, pulled straight up on the leash, and got him back into the seated position. When Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him as an additional distraction. Charlie should remain seated until Rich gets back to his shoulders. He stops there, and then he gives Charlie the next command, and they take off heeling again. And your stationary exercises are very important to practice because they help to develop self-control. And in spite of everything, Charlie is still a baby. So we're still developing self-control, focus, maturity, all of those things. We forget how young he is until you look at his teeth, and then you realize. Now this time, instead of returning back to Charlie, Rich is going to use his name, and he's going to call him in, and this is the come on command. It's Charlie, come. He should come and sit right in front of you, facing your knees. He should not jump all over you. And then he should return back to heel and back sitting. And that was very well done. And this little baby puppy is doing commands and exercises that we teach adult dogs. So the sky's the limit as to how far he's able to go as he grows and matures. Rich will leave him in another sit-stay. And sitting and staying, you can equal to sending your child to kindergarten, and for the first time they have to sit still. He is for the first time learning to actually have some self-control. Rich again calls him in. He comes right in and sits, and that avoids him coming in and putting his feet on anyone. Because if he's going to be a service dog in training, he cannot put his front feet on anyone. So that is an exercise that you really want to practice. Now, the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your down commands. The first one is the down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Now, your long down stay you can practice right in your living room. You're going to work all the way up to a 5-minute long down stay. And again, when Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him. ending up back where they started at heel position, and Charlie held that down stay until Rich gives him the next command. He's really come a long way. He was a little challenging, but he had a slow start in life being in a puppy store. Rich gives him the down and the stay. If you have to repeat the stay command, that's fine, and you can practice right in your living room. You don't have to go outside. We go outside just so that you can see it better. This time Rich will quietly call him out of that. He always brings him in very controlled. So all of this is about puppy learning to have self-control and focus. Back to heel and back sitting. And you're going to see that if you run through your video a couple times working him in the house, that it tires him out. It makes him think, it makes him use his brain, and consequently it tires him. Now the last exercise that we're going to demonstrate is the down from a distance. So with your dog seated, you're going to leave him in a stay. This time you're going to use your right hand to give the command and drop him into a down from a distance. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Charlie's formal on-leash basic obedience commands. We want to make sure that you keep us posted as to your progress at home. Any questions, don't hesitate to call the school. We want to thank you again for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and Charlie, will see you very soon.